Hi guys, and welcome back to Smack Vision, where I'm your host Ange, and this is my weight loss journey channel. And this is something a little different. This is a tag video. This is a Thanksgiving tag video that I was tagged by Sandy from the Let's Get Fit with Sandy's channel to do, and I got really excited and I couldn't wait to do it because I love Thanksgiving. And so it's just a list of questions, and I'm gonna tag someone in here. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna tag Peggy from Color Me Influence channel because I love Peggy and I would like to see more from Peggy, and I want to get nosy about what Peggy does on Thanksgiving. So this is kind of like a let's get to know your Thanksgiving situation. And so here we go. So thank you for tagging me, Sandy. Okay, so question number 1, sit down or buffet? So usually it's not really like a buffet at my family's. It's like a sit down, but it's like one of those, take something off the plate and pass it. And so we all sit down together, and like all the food is on the table or on the table next to where we're sitting, and we just kind of grab off the plate and pass it around the table. So that's what we do, depending on how many people are there. My family isn't huge. When my grandparents passed away, our family kind of dynamic changed, so we all kind of do different things on Thanksgiving now. Okay, number 2, what do you eat on Thanksgiving? This is my favorite question. Okay, so on Thanksgiving, obviously we have turkey, we have stuffing, we have gravy, we have mashed potatoes, we have sweet potatoes. We usually don't do like the sweet potato candied marshmallow thing. We don't do that. We'll do like baked sweet potatoes. We have dinner rolls. We have French Canadian meat pie, which I'll get back to in a second. We have coleslaw, which is not your classic Thanksgiving thing, but I'll get back to that too. We have cranberry sauce, the jellied one, because that's just how we roll in my family. We love it. We usually do green beans. Sometimes we do like a broccoli casserole with like cheese and all that. We don't do mac and cheese, but I really think we should. Because there's not enough food already. There are a select maybe 2 members of my family that enjoy creamed pearl onions, which I'll get back to that. Turnips. My family always like boils turnips and mashes them up and like put butter and salt and pepper in them and like mashed turnips. It's always on the table. I can't think of anything else. I think that's mostly everything. But we don't really do appetizers, so to speak, although we do like black olives and sweet pickles like on a tray. I don't know why, we just always do that, like sweet pickle, like gherkins and like black olives. Sometimes we'll have like chips and dip beforehand. Sometimes, every once in a while, we'll have like cheese and pepperoni and cracker tray. We don't really do a lot of appetizer type of stuff though, because we're just having already so much. We'll have we'll start off with like a Bloody Mary while we're doing the finishing touches on the meal. Wine, eggnog, sometimes apple cider. We love eggnog. So yeah, that's what we have. I cannot wait, obviously. Okay. What is my number 3? What is my favorite Thanksgiving side dish? I love stuffing. Everyone keeps saying stuffing. I watch all these tag videos. Stuffing, stuffing. And we love it. I love it so much. Stuffing. And meat pie. Okay. Number 4, favorite dessert. Oh, okay. How did I even skip the dessert part? Oh my God. Okay, so we always have pumpkin pie. We always have apple pie. And then we need to have something chocolatey. Um, I'm a dessert freak, which is why I can't believe I forgot that part. So a lot of times I'll bring my kids love brownies, so I'll bring brownies, but I like to make either like a death by chocolate, or there's this one dessert that I make. It's called like Better Than Sex, like chocolate trifle or something. That one's really, really good. We love anything with like some kind of like pudding type of texture. As me and my mom call it, it's got to be puddingly. I don't know. We made that up one day. Or like a banana cream, something with some kind of, it's bad for you. And we love it. And we go in on Thanksgiving. Sometimes I'll make cookies just as an extra, just to have, just like chocolate chip cookies, like Toll House chocolate chip cookies. So it says favorite dessert. I would probably have to say maybe, like, I do love apple pie and pumpkin pie. If I had to pick, we're not a pecan pie family. Pecan, however you say it, we just don't really do that as much. Except for my sister's boyfriend, he's kind of like my brother-in-law. He loves pecan pie, pecan, whatever. He loves that. The rest of us, not so much. So we don't really do that. I think they do it at their house. But I like to have a little of everything. And of course, a la mode. Gotta have ice cream on it and homemade whipped cream too. Just load it up. I don't like to pick. But if I'm making that Better Than Sex Death by Chocolate thing, that's my favorite. Sorry, Dana and Mom. Okay. All right. Least favorite side dish. Okay, we almost never have green bean casserole. I don't like it at all. And if it's there, I won't go near it. And I kind of like pick on the person that made it or brought it because I'm mean like that. If it's not there, I would say my least favorite side dish would probably be, if my mom makes it, the creamed pearl onions. That was my grandfather's thing on my mother's side. He liked it. My grandmother used to always make a batch of it for my grandfather. Him and like my Uncle Jimmy would be the only people that ate that. Every now and then my mom would have like one onion, but I would not go near that stuff. Ugh. No thanks. Okay, next. Do you dress up for Thanksgiving? So it is a family holiday. I like to look pretty on the holidays. I like to look pretty all the time, actually, in case you didn't notice. Just kidding. But I like to wear like a nice something, like a nice sweater. I usually like sparkly stuff, wear like leggings or jeans and like some nice boots. I usually make sure that my kids look nice. I when they were little, I used to love dressing them up, because they're usually messy and they wear play clothes or whatever. But now that they're big, actually it's getting harder and harder for me to like force them to get dressed up because they just want to be comfortable. They just want to wear hoodies. But like a nice sweater and some jeans, something classy. Not a ball gown or anything. But yes, I like to get done up for Thanksgiving. I have other family members that are just kind of like, whatever, who cares? We're just going to be lazy and eat, and who gives a crap? And they don't really put too much effort into, they don't, my sister. Hi Dana, if you're watching. She tries, but she has 2 little kids. She's just, busy and frazzled, and her priorities are not with the whole let's get done up situation. She's never been really a person that gets done up. So, but I like to do it. Okay, number 7. Any traditions? Okay. Yes, we have some traditions. Um, well, like I was saying before, both of my grandparents passed away, my mom's parents, and they were very, very close to me, my grandmother especially. And I basically inherited like everything of hers when they passed, and like all of her dishware and stuff like that. So if I'm bringing a dish to my the holiday, um, I usually bring it. Oh, did I skip a question? No. Oh, that's the next one. Okay. I usually bring it in like one of my grandmother's bowls. She has these turkey candles. They're like little turkey figurines that she's always had on display that now I have, and I'll insert a picture of the turkeys and I'll bring them over, or I'll display them at the holidays. The meat pie. Okay. So my great grandparents, my mom's mom's parents, they were from, I think, Quebec. So French Canadian, that's where that comes in. We're French Canadian. I don't speak French. I did study it in school, but don't remember it. So our thing with the meat pie, there's like this French club in the town next to my town, and every year like my grandmother or whoever family member would be doing it would go to the French club and pick up the meat pies. And there was this old man, French man, that made these meat pies. And so when my grandmother passed away, like I took on the tradition of going to order the meat pies and pick up the meat pies. And then a couple years ago, they told me that the old man, he passed away. And so he passed the recipe on to, I don't know, I guess another family member. And I just felt like, you know what? Maybe I can make the meat pie. So I Googled a recipe for the meat pie and I made it and I brought it and everyone loved my meat pie. So now I make the meat pie. So that's a traditional thing. Also, strange and odd tradition. My grandma, she was a little quirky, and one year, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago, we come over for Thanksgiving, and I'm looking at the spread. It's all out on the table, all the usuals, the stuffing, the turkey, the whole 9 yards. And then all of a sudden there's this bowl of coleslaw on the table. And I'm like, Graham, what is this? And she's like, it's coleslaw. And I'm like, why would you put coleslaw out here on the table with all these things? And she's like, I don't know, I was just in the mood for coleslaw and I wanted it. So I chopped up some ingredients and I made the coleslaw. And I'm like, we picked on her so hard about this coleslaw, and like I ate it and I'm like, oh, this is damn good coleslaw. Very simple recipe, but from that point forward, every holiday the damn coleslaw was there. My grandmother would make the coleslaw. And about a year or two before she passed away, one day she was like, we were talking about what we were bringing for whatever holiday it was, and I was like, well, do you want me to make the coleslaw? And she was like, you can't make my coleslaw. And I'm like, well, what do you put in it? And she's like, you can't handle it. I'm like, let me make the damn coleslaw, I'll help you out. So she told me what she puts in it. So what she does is she chops all of the stuff really, really tiny, like kind of like KFC coleslaw, where it's like really, really small, not like stringy. And I made it for the first year, and I'll never forget, I was on the phone with her while I was chopping up all this cabbage. I had blisters on my hand, and I remember it clear as day. She was like, amateur. And I like showed her I had blisters on my hand, my arm was sore, and she was like, and then I find out later, my mother says, well, you're an idiot, because she said that she chopped it by hand, but she didn't. She used like a mini Oscar or a chopper for it. And even though, and I'm like, what? So, I made literally a vat of coleslaw. I mean, there was coleslaw. I was bagging it up. I was like packaging it up and sending it home with everyone because there was so much of it. My grandfather thought it was hilarious because I made 2 whole heads of cabbage chopped up, and there's only like 10 or 12 of us. It was enough coleslaw for every one of us to eat for a 2-week span every day. It was so much. So that's one of the other traditions, is that I continued on making this damn coleslaw. And I'm like, well, we got to have coleslaw. Mom, all right, so what do you want me to bring? Like, I'm going to bring meat pie. I'm going to bring the coleslaw. And she's like, all right, with the coleslaw already. And everybody just expects the coleslaw is going to be there. And it is, because I make the coleslaw. One of the other traditions that we do, which my grandfather started. Now, my grandfather, God rest his soul, he loved his booze. But he was a jolly, drinker or whatever. He would come into whichever, either Christmas or Thanksgiving, and had already had a couple of pops before he came, and he'd walk in and he'd be like, "Hark, Harold!" As soon as he walked in. Like, that's how he announced that he was here. So that's what we do. We say, "Hark, Harold," when we walk through the door. So that's another one. Also, by the time we would sit down to our meal, he would already have had a couple more pops before dinner, and he'd be, laughing, and we'd all be having a good time. And all of a sudden, he would like start a wave. We'd all get up and do the wave at the dinner table, and my grandmother would get so pissed because she wanted it to be so formal and sit down and everything, and my grandfather would be like tipsy, and he would start a wave, and we would all go around the table and do it. And now that's just what we do. And my grandfather is gone, but to keep his memory alive, that's what we do. We do the wave. My grandmother would always flip him the bird, and it would be like secret, and we'd all catch it from the corner of our eye. We'd all laugh, and it was just really good. It was a nice little tradition. So that's the whole tradition thing. So sorry it was a little long-winded, but I miss them. So let's see. Number 8, where do you celebrate? So usually for the past few years, we have been celebrating Thanksgiving at my mom's. And I usually do Christmas at my house. So yeah, my mom lives up the street from me about maybe 2 miles, not even. And we do it at my mom's, and it's nice, and that's what we do. Okay. However, my dad, okay, so my parents are divorced, and my dad has a girlfriend, and now my mom has a boyfriend. It's kind of new. Usually, like a lot of times after we do the Thanksgiving at my mom's, we'll go home and we'll bring like leftovers or whatever. And a lot of times my dad will come over in the evening and either have like some of our leftovers or have dessert with us. And sometimes my Uncle Danny, he is my mom's brother. He usually does his Thanksgiving with his wife and like his stepdaughter and like his sons at their house, and then like he'll a lot of times stop at my house for dessert later on in the evening. So I mean, for the main thing, I do it at my mom's, but then we'll do like dessert and stuff at my house. Okay, sorry about that. My phone like overheated. That never happened. Okay. So, number 9. What do you love most about Thanksgiving? I first and foremost love that I am lucky enough to work for a company that is closed on Thanksgiving Day. So I don't have to work. That in itself is the greatest part about Thanksgiving. I love being able to get together with my family and let my hair down and just be comfortable and relax. And this year I'm going to be loving it even more because I don't have to, I'm not following any Weight Watchers plans on Thanksgiving. So no secret there. I'm not doing it. I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to have some cocktails. I'm going to have some laughs. I'm going to have some mashed potatoes and butter and bread and dessert and all that stuff. And most importantly, I get to be with my family, and it's going to be great. And I love doing all the traditional things and remembering my grandparents and sharing those memories with my kids and my mom and my sister and whoever else decides to be around for that. So I love that about Thanksgiving. And last but not the least, number 10, what are you most thankful for? I am most thankful for this year my health, and I owe it to I mean, a lot of it has to do with the WW and just the program and me sticking to it, and being supported by so many people in my life, by you guys out there, by my family, by my coworkers, by my friends. Like, if it wasn't for me doing this program, I don't think that I would have the clean bill of health that I have right now, with my physical and my, my blood work, and my mammogram and all these things, and everything came back good, and I had been panicking about it for years, and I finally did something about my health to get it in order and be able to go and get checked out, and I am just so grateful for that. I'm also grateful that my family is healthy for the most part. My kids, my daughters, they're just everything to me, and I'm just so grateful that they, as much as it, like, my twins are teenagers, and like it's the cool thing to like be annoyed by your mom and everything, like they love me. They look up to me, even though they pretend that I'm just annoying and corny with my YouTube channel and my, you know, Post Malone and whatever the corny things that I do. They hang on every word. They pretend they don't, but I know that they do. They look at me when I'm not looking like I am Cher to them. Like they are just, I'm a rock star to them, and I am very thankful for that. And I'm thankful to have a roof over my head, and I'm thankful to have groceries in my fridge, and I'm thankful to have a lot of people that care about me and support me, and I'm very grateful this year. I'm very grateful. So, with that being said, I hope you guys liked my video. I really enjoyed making this one. And I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And Peggy, I hope that you do this tag. And if you guys have any like things that you want to put in my comments, go ahead and do it. If anybody else eat French Canadian meat pie on Thanksgiving, or coleslaw, or do the wave, so go ahead and put your comments in, email me. If I didn't tag anybody else, like, that's fine. I feel like everyone that I would have wanted to tag is already tagged. So if you feel inclined to do this video, go ahead and do it, and I will tag Sandy in my description. I'll put the questions in, and I love watching these tag videos with the Thanksgiving stuff, because like I was telling Sandy the other day, I love asking people what they eat on holidays. Like, I work in a restaurant, I work at the Cheesecake Factory, and right around the holidays, like, all my guests, my tables, I'm like, are you excited for Turkey Day? What do you guys eat for Turkey Day? And people, that's another thing, is that a lot of people, like Italian people, they do like lasagna and like pasta and all these things. And I'm like, how come we don't do that? So I just like to hear about what people do on their holidays. So go ahead and make the video, or email me, put some comments in. Please like my videos, subscribe to my channel if you're new, hit the notification bell, share my video, and have a fantastic Thanksgiving, everybody. All right, thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for more here on Smack Vision. Bye.